Hey folks, Nate Gilman, co-founder of MMCs, the first software that makes getting your Merchant Mariner credential super simple. I'm here with Kim Carver. Kim, how's your day going?
My day is going awesome. Yeah, I'm in Port Townsend. It is overcast, partly sunny maybe. Yeah, it's gorgeous.
So what are you working on the moment?
Right now, I work for the Port Townsend School of Woodworking. In Port Townsend, I'm always surrounded by an amazing community of mariners and boat builders and craftspeople. I'm doing something that I did a lot in the maritime world, which was try to promote youth and women into a trade. And I think that's why this work, why I'm so passionate about this work, and especially now with scholarship committees and equity and inclusion committees, the school is now going in the direction of offering a ton of scholarships, like $50,000 worth of scholarships. That's 80 scholarships at our school, and dedicated to women, people of color, underserved communities. So it's coming back to really focus on the things that I like doing, and that's like getting people that you don't normally see in the trades in in the United States into the trades. So when I got out of high school, I just really wanted to travel. So I kept jumping around in jobs um, and in like subcultures, I guess, across America that would facilitate traveling. I ended up applying for the Victoria Clipper in my mid 20s. And, I didn't grow up, even though I grew up in Seattle, I wasn't into boats. And Victoria Clipper is where I really started learning about boats. The beautiful thing about these organizations I've worked for in Seattle, like Victoria Clipper, especially Argosy, is that they're very tuned into training their employees to become better mariners, whether that's to work there or I think maybe they just all understand that it all comes around because we jump around to the different organizations. But yeah, I worked for Victoria Clipper, got a lot of my sea time there, and they put me on a whale watch tour up in the San Juans, and I met people there who worked on tall ships. I ended up going to tall ships um, on and off over the course of like 15 years. And I eventually captained and chartered my own smaller tall ship, like you mentioned, Lip and Grow. And I ran the West Seattle water taxi for Argosy and for downtown Seattle, and worked for Crowley on a tug and barge fuel route between Portland and Vancouver and Seattle. So yeah, done a little bit of everything. Worked on both coasts and the Great Lakes and down in the U.S., the British Virgin Islands, actually. Yeah, it was a good run. It was like over the span of 20 years, and there's a lot that I would recommend about that field of work, in my opinion. My big draw to the maritime industry has always been the community of people that I engage with. Maybe they're not the kind of people I would have known to choose as a friend group, and well, sometimes you get off a boat and you still wouldn't choose them as a friend group. But that's the beautiful thing about being on boats is you know regardless of your compatibility or the common ground you think you might have or that you don't have, you are kind of forced to learn great communication skills. Like I just think it is so valuable for us as humans to be kind of to push ourselves, to challenge ourselves in these situations that challenge our ability to communicate, whether it's well, when I started going to new boats and being told what to do, and a lot of things you're trained on tall ships, and in your first you know, a couple boats, you get really attached to those ways of doing things. So um, I really did have to just step back and listen and then observe, like, okay, does this thing, the way they're doing it, does that work for them? And can I do that? You know, sometimes it's like, will my self-respect, my dignity allow me to do it that way? And it wasn't always yes, but yeah, I would say some humility when you go to a new boat. You really have to listen and observe. And always wait a while before you suggest changes. I've seen a lot of drama come from someone just coming to a boat and being like, we should do it this way and this way and this way, and this would be better. And they don't know the whole picture yet. There might be ways that these practices are being done, no matter how screwy they appear at first. So, yeah. It's the meme. I'm horrible at jokes, but there's that one meme that has the picture of the kid, and he's like, I don't know, 5 or 6, and he's drawing on something, and the mom is leaning over, and the kid says, Mom, when I'm a grown up, I want to be a sailor. And the mom says, honey, you can't do both. And I just think that's hilarious. I mean, because we're all like, on one boat I was working on, I think I was working for Salish Sea Expeditions, and one of the kids turned to the crew and she said, so you guys get to do this all the time? You get to like go out on these trips in the San Juans all the time and just sail around? And we were like, yep. And she goes, and we do this just for a week. She's talking about the kids, and they go, yeah, but you could do it more, you know, later, you know, if you want, when you grow up. And she goes, so you're like professional children. And we all looked at each other and we're like, high five. It was hilarious.
Cool. Yeah, well, thank you. I really appreciate you taking the time to tell us all about your maritime background. And yeah, I look forward to talking to you again soon.
Well, this was fun. Yeah, thanks for the opportunity, Nate. Good to see you.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we're stopped recording.